Well, the internet stayed confused when new photos of Nick Cannon's daughter, Monroe Cannon, started making the rounds. Now, we all know Monroe is the daughter of Mariah Carey, and with Nick Cannon as her father, most people assume she'd have a clear mix of her parents' features. But nope, when these recent pics dropped, the internet was shocked. While some were focused on Nick juggling yet another daddy duty moment, most people were caught up on Monroe's surprising appearance because, according to social media, she's not giving Nick and Mariah's daughter vibes. So Nick was recently spotted out in Los Angeles with Monroe after a school basketball game, and let me tell you, the internet was not ready for how she looked. Monroe has always been seen with her signature curly hair and glasses, but this time, sis switched it up. She stepped out with long straight hair, no glasses, and a whole new vibe that had people double taking.
Please, we don't want to do this every time.
It's just being festive.
Every time.
It's not every
She was rocking a trendy camouflage crew neck, baggy jeans, and black shoes, holding a black Prada purse with a stuffed animal charm on it. Now, we all know Monroe comes from music royalty, Mariah Carey, the one and only, the Queen of Christmas, the 5-octave vocal powerhouse. And with Nick Cannon as her father, you'd expect Monroe to have a clear resemblance to at least one of them, right? Well, let's just say social media wasn't seeing it. As soon as those photos dropped, the internet lit up with reactions, and trust me, people were shocked. Many people were pointing out how Monroe looks nothing like Mariah or Nick. One comment went viral saying, "She doesn't look like either one of her parents, LOL." And honestly, a lot of people were agreeing. It's not that Monroe doesn't look mixed, but some were surprised by just how much she leans toward her mom's lighter side. Another comment added fuel to the fire saying, right, she got less white than black in her genetics and she still looks more white. Now, we all know genetics can be wild and mixed kids can take after any side of their family, but people were clearly expecting Monroe to have more of Nick's features. Instead, she's serving random white girl energy, at least according to some people online. Someone even took it to the extreme, saying she looks nothing like Mariah. If you didn't know Nick and Mariah were her parents, she'd be another random white girl. Now that's harsh, but let's be real. Monroe has always had a more Mariah-like appearance. Fair skin, looser curls, and softer features. And now that she's styling herself differently, the resemblance to Nick is pretty much non-existent. But hold up, because Monroe wasn't the only thing people were talking about. Nick himself became a topic of discussion, and not in a good way. One comment went viral saying, "Look at Nick. What is going on with him? Serious eye bags, a little too skinny. Hope bro is taking care of himself. He has a lot of children and their mamas depending on him." And listen, they have a point. Nick was looking real tired in those photos. He had those heavy under eye bags, and people couldn't help but wonder if juggling 12 little ones was finally catching up to him. I mean, 12 offsprings with 6 different women, that's a lot of responsibility, not just financially, but physically too. Nick has been open about having lupus, and we know that can take a toll on a person's body. But between running his talk show, hosting The Masked Singer, and spending time with all his young ones, he might need to slow down a little. Now back to Monroe, because let's be honest, this girl is growing up fast. Some people even compared her transformation to when Blue Ivy started growing up, and people freaked out over how much she looked like Beyonce. The difference is Blue Ivy's resemblance to her parents is undeniable, while Monroe's, not so much. One thing's for sure, Monroe is growing into her own. And whether people see Nick or Mariah in her, she's still got iconic genes running through her veins. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, because I've got another deep dive coming your way soon. Y'all, Oprah Winfrey just got dragged into Russell Simmons' grape scandal, and things are getting messy. The billionaire media mogul has been subpoenaed in a lawsuit involving hip-hop icon Russell Simmons and his alleged victim, Drew Dixon. And let's just say, people are side-eyeing the whole situation. Why is Oprah involved? What does this mean for the case? And is Russell Simmons hiding in Bali to avoid justice?
Oprah's being dragged into court. They want her to submit books, records, papers, data, documents, evidence, different evidences, writings, and anything else tangible as described in this subpoena.
So here's the deal. Drew Dixon, a former Def Jam executive, is one of many women accusing Russell Simmons of an SA. She filed a defamation lawsuit against Simmons after he publicly trashed her allegations in a 2023 interview. But now she's bringing Oprah into the mix. Why? Well, Dixon's legal team is demanding that Oprah hand over documents, recordings, and any evidence she has from when she was working on a documentary about Simmons's alleged crimes. Oprah was originally involved in a 2020 documentary called On the Record, which focused on Simmons's accusers. But at the last minute, she backed out of the project, and that's where the drama really starts.
Russell Simmons had started publicly pressuring me, and that me pulling out of the documentary was going to look like I was being pressured.
Simmons claims that Oprah dropped the documentary because she allegedly found inconsistencies in Dixon's story. And now Dixon's lawyers want proof. According to Simmons, Oprah supposedly recorded interviews with 20 different witnesses, and those tapes supposedly reveal contradictions in Dixon's accusations. Simmons went as far as saying she found too much contradictory evidence about the stories about me. Now, let's be clear, Oprah has never confirmed this. In fact, when she backed out of the documentary, she said it had nothing to do with Russell Simmons. She even said this is not a victory lap for him. She claims she left because of creative differences, but Simmons is pushing the idea that Oprah bailed after realizing some of the allegations didn't add up. So here's the real issue. If Oprah does have recordings that show inconsistencies in Dixon's story, that could seriously hurt the credibility of the lawsuit. On the other hand, if no such tapes exist, it could prove that Simmons is lying to protect himself. Right now, Dixon's lawyers are not playing games. They're demanding Oprah hand over any books, records, papers, and data related to the case. They also want her to appear for a deposition, and y'all, it could be videotaped, meaning if Oprah has anything to say, the whole world might see it for themselves. Now, while all of this is going down, guess where Russell Simmons is? Bali. And not just for a vacation, this man moved there. Why? Because Bali doesn't have an extradition treaty with the U.S. So even if the case goes against him, the chances of him being forced back to face legal consequences are pretty low.
This is the house. This is the house. I built it because it was, I wanted to live here part-time, and I was going to stay a month and a half, and COVID hit, and I stayed 2 years.
Let's not forget, over 20 women have accused Simmons of grape or SA. Some of them even spoke out and on the record. But instead of staying and fighting the allegations, Simmons is out here living his best life in a country where he can't be touched. So what now? The deadline for Oprah to comply with the subpoena was March 18th, 2025. But as of right now, it's unclear whether she actually handed over any documents or if her lawyers are fighting it. If she does turn over evidence, it could either help or hurt Simmons's case. And if she refuses, well, that could get real complicated real fast. Whether Oprah's involvement will make or break the case, we'll have to wait and see. And as always, smash that like button, subscribe for more updates, and I'll see you in the next one.